Here in the north, the Yaller horn is about to sound and send two teams to battle here at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
A very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And this opening dynamic kickoff not going to be returned. It'll come out to the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Throwing to start the drive. Logan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now you can exhale. The season is officially underway. Plenty of work done during the offseason, camp, and the preseason that led to that first throw of the year.
Second down and 3. Now a handoff up the middle. That's 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Look, I realize on any play call, when it's properly executed, it can go for a touchdown. But the runs that really make it work are the ones where you just get what you need, right? He barely got the first down, but he got it.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 44-yard line. Operating from the gun, Logan. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31. Here's Richardson to throw. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Raiders are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Richardson going to change the play here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now it's Richardson. Touchdown! From 6 yards away. And the Raiders are on the board here first in the season opener. Well, we know he has decent hands out of the backfield. That's the first time, Charles, they've targeted him in the passing game, and it pays dividends.
And I love the design, too, because they kept him in the backfield, made the defense think run first before they swung him out of there. And you're right, with his hands, they might want to throw it to him just a little bit more.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. how do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Now they'll change things up. They go play action with Richardson. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline. Here's 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Bingham. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Logan. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, that's a big defensive stop there, and it takes away a lot of the momentum from the offense coming off that big completion the prior snap. Give big credit to the defense for bouncing back.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Back to throw. Logan. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Logan. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
Well, he's had the interception woes in this one, Charles, and that time a little bold to throw it into double coverage, but he beat the double coverage.
Yeah, but I admire that he still will challenge defenders downfield, even though the ball's been in jeopardy a few times in this game. A nice ball there against multiple defenders, and they advance it downfield.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but
oh, he sheds himself free.
He's still on his feet. Now look out. He's to the 20.
He stiff arms him.
And he's going to be pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
A big play there on the catch and run. 91 yards.
Wow. I mean, we talk about flipping the field. Normally we're saying 40, 50 yards, but how about this play? This is as long a play as you'll see that does not result in a touchdown.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns.
And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
Point after try forthcoming. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Raiders 21, Vikings nothing.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be a possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Logan. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Looking to throw. Logan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down. Back to throw again. And this is caught inside the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1. Gets it out quickly here to the left flank. Touchdown, Vikings! From a yard out. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get position for at least 3 points.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Now Richardson going to shift things up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Bingham. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And he goes out right around the 39. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Las Vegas sending out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And now a high kick trying to pin him back. Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with great starting field position and 1 timeout in their pocket, they could still come away with points here in the late going. He's got the hook up here on the comebacker, complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
And a nice job by the two of them to not only connect on the pitch and the catch, but to carry over their practice work to the game field. They saw the adjustment by the defense, made an adjustment themselves, and picked up the first down.
In motion goes the tight end. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He'll find his man on the comeback route, complete. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Operating from the gun, Logan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ward. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So the completion good for 7 there, and it's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They'll look to throw again.
And that one too wide and incomplete.
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
It's a 47-yard field goal try from here, but instead they're going to opt to go for it on 4th down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side.
So after the conversion on 4th, here's 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the 3rd quarter will start from the 30. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Well, CD, that's one of those plays you put a mark by. I mean, that could be a big momentum swing here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, we may have to revisit it, right? Because if that drive ends up in the end zone, they're sitting pretty at that point. Now, instead, it's a 2-score game that has a chance to tighten up considerably.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 46. Following the fumble recovery, Logan. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Betts. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Well, looks like they'll move things around here.
On 3rd down, Betts. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 45 yards. And the Vikings
Vikings take the forced fumble and convert it into 6 points.
Extra point forthcoming. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And this will get out of bounds. No worries there, though. That still goes as a touchback.
The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now 2nd and 3.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Off play action. Richardson. To the right side and intercepted.
And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Betts. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. Operating from the gun. Logan. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 18 there and give the Vikings a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. He finds his man, complete. It's Parks. Runs over him, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one goes for 30 yards.
He had one touchdown earlier, nearly a second one there.
Yeah, it took a touchdown-saving tackle to keep him out of the end zone after a big play. Perhaps you go right back to him. Don't need the distance, but maybe he can pay things off after a big effort.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Vikings have scored again in this third quarter, this time to move out in front.
Now for the point after. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
And the Raiders first down.
Now Richardson.
Flushed out right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Richardson. And the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Right, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Two yards to go, second down.
Now a handoff up the middle. Betts, he'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Here's third and a few inches.
They'll keep it on the ground. Betts. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
The Vikings send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Buying time to his left. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up. This time is now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Richardson going to move him around.
They'll try the left side. Bingham. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now Richardson back to throw it. Escaping the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
What we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. Throw out wide is incomplete.
But fans should be applauding this defense right now. It's an excellent job. They force a 3 and out, and they should be able to set up their guys in great field position, probably near midfield or better.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. An audible here to get a new look. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Fourth down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Back to throw. Logan. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
2nd and 2. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings will add to their fourth quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. That's caught at the 25. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. 70 yards. And the Raiders have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. Here's 2nd and 3. Looking to throw. Logan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. 7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Well, some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Logan. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. And now an audible here into something else.
The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now just 3 seconds before the 2-minute warning, they're going to call a timeout here defensively. He handed it off there, but I don't really know if he would have kept it or tried to do anything else if it would have mattered.
Yeah, it's not always a wrong read when a play gets stacked up. Sometimes they're just at the line of scrimmage. There's just too many bodies to maneuver.
And as a result, now they're looking at a 4th down.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Out of the gun. They'll look to throw.
Well, that'll be incomplete with the penalty marker down as well. And I think he was beyond the line of scrimmage when that ball left his hand.
Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Richardson to throw it.
It got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
Now Richardson. Short throw caught by Bowers.
And given 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Here's Richardson.
Eluding the pressure right.
That's to Bowers once again.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Richardson.
Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Here now, 2nd and 10 from the 13. Richardson looking to throw it.
Flushed out right. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
Richardson going to change the play here. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were lifting their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. So overtime on the horizon, barring a wild finish here as the kick's away.
And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
Here's 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So conditioning going to be a factor here. Who can hold up to the test? It's overtime here in week 1. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. All set up for them right now, Charles. Opening possession of overtime. They've got the football. They also obviously have this home crowd behind them in a big way.
They get that extra energy from them, but they've got to be careful not to let that adrenaline get away from them and play too fast or create errors of their own making. Use that energy, embrace it, but make sure they channel it the right way. They've got a chance to go downfield, score a touchdown, and end this game.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And now 3rd and very long. Are you cautious here?
I think you have to be, because the first mantra of any football game is don't lose it.
then you give yourself a chance to win it. And if you go ahead and force something now, take a big shot that doesn't pay off, you didn't help your defense out at all.
Yeah, especially here in overtime.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Well done by the defense. They did their job here in overtime.
Boy, did they ever, because now it's 4th and really long. So if you do decide to go for it, people think you might be a little bit on the nut side, don't they? But guess what? If I did decide to go for it, I'd call something deep. I'd throw a deep pass and hope that the defense didn't remember to just knock it down. If they intercept it, it's almost like a great punt and helps out your defense with field position.
So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. Back to throw. Logan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Richardson dials up the first throw of overtime.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Net score wins, but remember, this will be a tie if the period ends with no scoring as they work on second down.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 2 minutes left in this overtime session, and still all tie. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field. So this one, a victory for the Raiders. So for the Raiders, they needed overtime to do it, but they get the Week 1 victory thanks to the field goal. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.